Hello, one and all. This is Luckless Lovelocks. Welcome back to Orwell, Ignorance is Strength. Just to recap the objectives that we're working on right now, need to find out the full name of the National Army veteran Karen Levine-Vart is counseling, determine whether or not Karen Levine-Vart is legally counseling the deserted National Army veteran, find out whether Ilya Vart has acquired money by illegal means, and ultimately we need to provide exploitable data on illegal or questionable actions on Ilya or Karen before Vart can release his provocative article. There's a few things that are bugging me. I still don't really know what direction I want to go in with this, and I need to dig a little bit more. There's a few things I can submit that I think will help me make a more informed decision. One of the things that's really bugging me still is that the money that Ilya deposited into his account doesn't add up with the victory that he had at the in-house tournament, the fan club tournament. It did mention in the email, because I read it again, that he hadn't paid rent for 3 previous months as well. So I don't know. I feel like if he took that money and he paid like back rent, it would have shown up in his bank account. I did check his bank account again as well, and I did see a withdrawal for his regular rent for this month. So the money bugs me still. There just seems like there's a few legitimate sources that could have gotten through. There's the tournament, there was that website. But speaking of the website, it looks like we found out that was made by Ilya for Karen. It's a private website, so I don't think she was paying him for that. So I think that discounts that source of the money. The one thing that is also kind of bugging me is that he switched shifts because he had a date on the 13th, Ilya did. And Karen in her schedule had a session scheduled for Ilya at 7 p.m. Now, it seemed like that was supposed to be when she was going to meet Molly, because Molly said that she could meet her that night, but it had to be later on. But then also in the conversation Molly had that we saw in the last episode with the text conversation, she said that Karen all of a sudden canceled their appointment, and that Karen wanted to meet with her this morning, but Molly didn't show up. Molly, I thought, was Nina from the first season, and then I couldn't remember the name of the woman that was one of the targets in the first season, but it was Nina, and I'm pretty sure it's not the same woman. Maybe she's using a different name for the therapy. But I'm pretty sure it's a different woman. But I remember she had a son or a daughter as well, and she was having issues with PTSD. The one thing I do want to pursue right now, though, is that Molly said that she talked to Karen on her private website. And also I noticed that there's another update to Raban's browser history, so let's see if that will help. Is he really a mafia boss? Okay, that doesn't look like it's changed. None of this stuff has changed, I bet. So let's go back to that conversation and let's report this information about the website, and let's see if we can get access to it. So what does it say here? It says, maintains a private counseling website, was contacted by Molly through her private counseling website. Now, I should remind you that we're on a clock. The article's going to release at 6. And we're supposed to find some information about either Karen or Ilya that we can use before that. So I'm kind of giving a deadline of 5 p.m. to give me an hour to follow a trail, if I need to, of who I'm going to decide to throw under the bus, so to speak. I mean, the other option that's on the table here is I could keep feeding information and let the clock run out. But to be honest with you, Raban, I don't trust him. Just not sure if it's worth destroying someone else's life who, may not. I don't know. My head is swirling right now. So I guess you guys should probably get that idea. Let's see what happens when we report this. Her own counseling website. This could mean Karen is moonlighting. This may very well be the page that Ilya set up for Karen. It's likely we will find more about this page within Ilya's files then. Oh. Oh, okay, good. Email. From Raban Vart to David Johns. In need of your advice. Dear David, you've always stuck to me throughout so many years and never let me down once. This is why I turn to you. I have the feeling you're the only person I can fully trust. I'm at a loss. Karen, my wife, and I... the other thing I wanted to mention is there's definitely something going on between Ilya and Karen. Whether she's looking to Ilya to comfort her because Karen and Raban are feel like kind of separating, kind of like losing track of each other. Maybe she just needs someone to talk to. But that picture of Karen on Ilya's phone looks like it might have been more. I don't know. Karen, my wife, and I, there's been so much distance between us recently, and it's only growing. She's spending so much time with her job. She seems almost obsessed with it, and I with mine, admittedly. Today I get to read on Blabber, of all places, that she has been spending her time not even officially for her counsel. Your time not even officially for her counsel. No, instead she has been working in secret. I don't quite know what to make of that. It could be well-placed defamation. I'm used to that, as you're aware of, but something tells me there's more to it. I feel I'm lacking the strength to continue with what I'm doing. The road to achieve a truly free, peaceful Pargas seems ever further away than ever. I need your advice. Tell me, am I still on the right track? What does this say then? Feels discouraged and in doubt about his course of action. Is it worth reporting that? I'm not sure. Let me sit on that. Okay, excellent. We have some more information on his desktop. Is maintaining a counseling website named Open Satyria. Okay, let's report that. Wait, hold on. Let me check the other one first. There's something else. Stuff 2. Okay, I think it was just this. We're at 3:10 p.m. Oops, wrong con. Wait, who's this supposed to... Oh, it's for Karen. Open Satyria. I don't... Open Satyria. I'm not sure what that's... Is that supposed to be a pun that I'm missing? Good work, though. Seems not even her husband is aware of this little side business she has built up there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, there's a response already. From David Johns. Raban, your recent experiences with your wife must be wearing you down. I understand. I have no doubt your wife will understand the efforts you have put into your campaign the moment it is fruitful. And fruitful it will be. You have just taken the first steps, and you're about to take another. Of course, I cannot tell you whether the allegations spreading on Blabber against Karen are true. You need to find that out for yourself. But it is for sure revolutionaries, those who speak true and all their loved ones around them, have always been the first targets to be hit by any oppressive regime. Be watchful. You must see through what you started. We believe in you. Your fan, David John. Who is this guy? Good, we got access to the site. I'm glad you found my website. I'm a professional psychotherapist with a degree in psychology and medicine. I offer advice, mentoring, and support for victims of armed conflict, especially war escapees and refugees. Send me a personal message if you'd like to talk about your experiences. Personal stories. It always helps to see that you're not alone with your experiences and feelings. Knowing that others are struggling with similar issues. Read personal stories of people who contacted me here. All names mentioned below have been changed. All stories are published anonymously and with the consent of the people affected. I'm Delka from Triflith. My daughter stopped talking. I'm a Pargesian refugee and crossed the border to the nation about 9 months ago. I decided to escape the war and flee with my 3 children after my husband was shot by a sniper. The journey was long and arduous, but we managed to get to the nation in good health. I think this is important to read to get some idea of what happened between Pargus and the nation, and just the history of Pargus. Unfortunately, my daughter Dara has gone through a huge change since then. She used to be a very lively child. She really loved her dad, and she misses him a lot. She has not said a word since we left our home. She will neither speak to me nor to any of her siblings or anyone else that I know of. I'm really worried and I'm desperately searching for help. Hi, Andelka. You and your family have gone through a very rough time. Losing your husband and then having to escape to a foreign country must have been an extremely difficult experience for all of you. I would first and foremost advise you to not pressure your daughter. She needs time and space to process her grief and the changes you're all adjusting to. Try to give her as much attention as she needs and create an atmosphere in which she's heard if she chooses to speak, but also respected if she does not wish to. Openness and attentiveness are key. Now, I know that it is extremely hard for a single mother, especially since you have several children who will be adjusting in their own ways, not to mention that you yourself must deal with massive life changes that have occurred. So take your time and try to deal with these issues one at a time. Also remember that listening to your children is sometimes the best thing you can do. Got Bill from Dewhurst. I bombed Triflith and I can't stop hearing the explosions. Also, Pargus is to the east of the nation. I served in the Pargesian War for 1 year and was then sent home because I was injured by a hand grenade. I was very lucky to survive, and though my hearing will never be 100% again, I was even luckier to get out of the war without any major issues, at least not physically. Ever since I got back from Pargus, I have not slept through a single night. I still hear the explosions. When I was sent to the conflict zone, I was responsible for dropping the bombs on Triflith. I can't get over the damage that I've caused, and I don't really have anyone I can talk to. My family is very proud, and they never stop mentioning what a great national hero I am. I don't feel like a hero. I feel like a murderer. Every night I lay awake, wondering how many people I killed with my bombs. Were they terrorists? Were they just normal people living their lives, terrified of what was going on in their home? Did I kill any children? I don't know. All I know is that I wish I had never participated in this goddamn war. I wish I had realized that there will be no winners, only losers. That's the way I feel right now. Dear Bill, you've been through an extremely traumatizing situation, one that no amount of training could have prepared you for. Participating in war is an experience that is very much out of this world for us, especially when compared to our comfortable everyday lives. The acts of violence on the battlefield are an extreme contrast to the calmness of home life. It is common for soldiers to experience dissonance between the horrific acts of war and life back home. In your case, this is increased by your family's expectations, who want to frame you as the heroic soldier, which is obviously making you very uncomfortable. My advice to you is to try and get long-term help from a psychotherapist who's experienced in treating soldiers. You must feel very isolated and alone right now, since you want to meet your family's expectations on the one hand, but you have a huge psychological burden of guilt on the other, which you should not carry alone. God, she's trying so hard to help people. Here we go, Molly. I was flushed down the toilet of life by the government. I'm a veteran of the Army of the Nation. My career was promising. I served for 6 years, was in charge of my own squad, and was a well-respected combat engineer. Is this Nina? I don't remember enough about the first one to say for sure. I was dishonorably discharged in 2011, shortly after I went AWOL because of personal issues. I was sent back to the nation as a deserter and flushed down the toilet of life by the administration of the Army, the government, and their safety bill. Since then, I have been working in low-wage jobs. I remember she was, this describes her really well. She was working like odd jobs, and I remember one job was at the mall, where one of the bombs was going to be planted. Then I had been working in low-wage jobs, live in a crappy apartment in the industrial quarters, and could hardly afford daycare for my son. After many years, I now realize that the causes I was fighting for in the Army were an illusion. I don't want my son to grow up in a country that doesn't respect its own people. They've not only flushed me down the drain, but the whole country. This government sucked up all my vitality just to spit me out again. All I am left with is anger and a huge urge to keep my son safe from all this bullshit. Dear Molly, first of all, thanks for reaching out to me. I know how hard this must have been for you. Although you feel you're up to your neck in defecation, to use your own metaphor, I believe you're actually handling this with a strong will. That strength protects you and your child from giving in to this huge disappointment you're currently experiencing. You feel betrayed by your country, and you're angry that they sucked all the life out of you, just to abandon you after you dedicated 6 years of your life to them. But don't forget that you were responsible for climbing the ranks in the army, no one else. It was your dedication to the service and skills you displayed that made you fit to have such a high position. While your army records may be a burden when looking for employment right now, you're clearly an intelligent woman who must persevere. I believe that your previous skills will eventually help you get your life on track again. In the meantime, please stay in touch. And Molly, I'll make sure you will receive appropriate counseling. Since you are also from Bonton, I would also like to offer you an opportunity to meet so I can assess your case in person. We can report this. Promise to organize counsel for Molly. The stories. There's messages too. Diane Coleman, please help me. Hello, I'm contacting you because I'm seeking help, and I really don't know where to go. My husband gets drunk nearly every night and becomes really aggressive towards me and our daughter. Last night, he hit her so hard that we had to bring her to the hospital. I know he doesn't mean it, and I strongly believe that deep down he's a good person. I still love him, but I'm also very worried about Carla, my daughter. Could you please give me some advice on how to deal with him so he doesn't keep getting so angry? Hi Diane, I'm very sorry, but I cannot help you. My website only deals with victims of armed conflict and ex-soldiers who are dealing with war trauma. Your case is too off topic for me, I'm sorry. A recommendation. I need help, I'm quite desperate. I keep replaying the traumatizing experiences I had in the Pargesian War. I'm fully aware that this is probably some form of PTSD, but counseling is out of the question for me. I don't want my family to know that I'm weak, that I'm facing these kind of issues. You're not weak, man. Your site was recommended on many other boards about PTSD, and I would therefore like to talk to you about how to deal with my problems. Kind regards, Bill. Dear Bill, my first recommendation would be not to do self-diagnosis. Whether you're suffering from PTSD or not, well, that is something that trained professionals can help you define. It'd be helpful if you sent me some specifics of your actual problems. What are your symptoms and what do you think is the cause? I can only help you if you provide me some information. Dear Mrs. Soteria, during the Pargesian War, I was part of the 102nd Bomber Regiment. I'm unsure of how many people died because of my actions, and I most likely will never find out. However, I'm suffering from severe insomnia, laying awake every night wondering how many lives ended at my hands. I'm just so tired. I really need help. Please help me. I can't do this anymore. Dear Bill, it's okay, Bill. I'm here for you. These thoughts and symptoms are very common for someone suffering from PTSD. To make a diagnosis, however, I would need to assess you further. Your story is a common one, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to let me publish it on my blog, to help others navigate the same issues you're experiencing, of course. Of course, I would keep your name out of the story, making it completely anonymous. Dear Mrs. Soteria. I'm not too sure about publishing my story on your blog. Perhaps you could recommend me a therapist who would consult me via phone calls? My main concern is that my family will find out that I'm suffering, and with the state of the world right now, they need me to be strong. Bill, I urge you to let me publish your story. I promise your family will not find out. It will be very valuable information to anyone sharing similar experiences to yours. She's really pushing that, eh? As a soldier, you must be a man who is devoted to public service. Publishing your story will provide an excellent support piece to help your fellow ex-soldiers feel that they're not alone, that they can also seek help, that they can be functioning members of society. Again, let me publish it, and then I'll help you find a therapist who's able to counsel you discreetly. I don't like how hard she's pushing this. Dear Mrs. Soteria, alright, I give you permission. I'm really desperate, and at this point, I would do almost anything to make this stop. Please make sure my family doesn't find out. This is really important to me. That's great, Bill. I promise that you'll not regret this. worried about my daughter, Navina. Hello, Soteria. I'm very worried about my daughter. I think she urgently needs counseling. She's not spoken a word for about 3 months, and I don't know what to do about it. Can you give me more details about your daughter? Is there any reason you could imagine why she'd stop talking? I can only help you if you give me more details. In December last year, I decided to immigrate to the nation. I'm from Pargas, and left the country with my 3 daughters because I wanted them to be safe. Thank you for additional information. It seems this experience was rather traumatizing for your daughter. What were the exact circumstances of your departure? How did your journey go? What about the children's father? Did he stay in the country? My husband was killed shortly before we left. Very hard for me to talk about this, especially to a person I do not know. Would it be possible for you to meet me in person? Your help is very much appreciated. I appreciate your trust. Please be aware that I'm doing this in my free time, and unfortunately do not have much capacity to meet people in person. I do find your story very interesting, though, and would love to publish it on my website. It would be entirely anonymous, and your real name will not be associated with the article. I think that your story would be incredibly valuable and important for people who went through similar experiences and are in need of comfort, knowing that they are not alone with their problems. I have a suggestion for you. How about I conduct a UTEL phone session? Conduct a UTEL phone session with you, and we go through the options together on how to help your daughter. In return, you tell me a few more details about your reasons, experiences of fleeing from Pargas, and allow me to publish your story on Open Soteria. I promise that you will not regret it. Interesting is, well, an interesting description of something that possibly traumatized my daughter permanently. Really not keen on you publishing my story. I don't know what it would do to my daughters if they found out. However, I'm rather desperate and worried about my young mind. This bothers me a bit. Desperate and worried about my youngest one. I will therefore say yes to your offer, hoping that you'll be able to help. Don't disappoint me, and don't you dare use my real name. Please also change times and places. My husband was shot by a soldier of the nation. He died before my daughter's very eyes. And since then, she has not spoken a word. Neither to me nor other children. She's become extremely reclusive and completely stopped playing. She's 7. Oh god, that's horrible. She's 7. I'm very desperate, and I do hope you can help us. Not disappoint you. Here we go, Molly. Hello, psychology person. I'm having some psycho problems. Since you seem to have some sort of psychology degree, I figure you might be able to help me. Molly. Dear Molly, what an odd request. You sound like you don't really want to talk to me. What are the psycho problems you're experiencing? Looking forward to your response. I have insomnia. I am constantly in pain. I work in a low-wage job, which frankly is beneath me. I can barely afford daycare for my son. All this is because of the damn government and the safety bill. It stops people like me from succeeding in life after the service. I'm not sure if I can help, but I'm running out of alternatives. We could start digging. Issue 1, insomnia and pain. How long have you been suffering from insomnia? Is there an incident in your life that you think may have triggered this? With the pain, is there a physical injury? How are you suffering, injury you're suffering from? Or is it just general pain? How long does it typically affect you? I remember Nina had a injury too. Issue 2, low-wage job and low income. Could you tell me a little more about your experience and qualifications? Did you complete secondary school, college? What career path did you have previously? Issue 3, finding the right person to speak to. I believe you already have. I'm more than qualified to offer you support, but if you find this doesn't work out, I can direct you to someone else who's more suitable for your needs. Hi. Alright, I've never done this before. I was a combat engineer, a veteran in the army of the nation. They kept telling me what an invaluable soldier I was. I believed them, holding my head high and serving their needs, no questions asked. Then I lost the only person I ever loved, who was part of my unit. I think this is her. It felt like my heart had been sucked into my chest, squeezed through a hole the size of a pinhead. After I lost him, I didn't care about anything. I left my regiment and was discharged for being AWOL. Then my son, Michael, was born. I had to pick myself up, no matter how I was feeling about the loss of his father. I needed to be strong. But I'm not strong. I'm still suffering. If it wasn't for my son, I would never have reached out to you. I have never spoken to anyone about this, and quite frankly, viewing your website, I felt like it was a kindergarten for crybabies. But I guess everyone is seeking some help. I need yours. Hello, Molly. Insults aside, I think it's quite typical of ex-soldiers to feel that self-help and psychotherapy shows weakness. I find it quite interesting that despite your doubts and prejudices, you chose to reach out to me. This is no small feat. In fact, it shows that you're determined to face your issues and better yourself, no matter how difficult that may be. You're on the road to healing. This feeling of loss is overwhelming tide of emotions that you're experiencing. It sounds like you're suffering from PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. It's a common condition that many former ex-soldiers suffer from after experiencing a great deal of trauma during war. The good news is that with counseling, symptoms of PTSD can be treated. How about I offer you some private sessions, free of charge? In exchange, I would like to publish your story, anonymously of course, on my blog. Female soldiers are so rarely spoken about, and I feel that your story in particular would be extremely valuable to other former servicewomen who feel they cannot speak up. Fine, I don't like the idea of sharing my story, but I also cannot afford treatment, so as long as it's 100% anonymous, I consent. Dear Molly, I'm so glad that you're willing to share and help others who really need support. I promise that I won't let you down. I'd like to focus on your remarks about the safety bill in my article, because the political criticism is sure to fuel some discussions. But to make sure I get your story right, I think it'd be best if we would meet in person, take time to talk things through, even take some photos if that's okay. I would like to suggest the cafe at Freedom Plaza for meeting. That should make for a fine setting for an article with some political punch behind it. We could meet there if it helps, but no photos. From me, keep me anonymous. I promise to keep you out of everything I write on here. Met the National Army veteran at the Freedom Memorial. Okay, it's 3:20. Jeez. That was a lot of a lot to read. That's not really worth reporting. That's just the messages. Nothing from the stories. Except for this. We still don't have her name though. Let's report where they were going to meet. Maybe we can get some more info. Freedom Plaza, everyone's favorite meeting place, apparently. Well, not anymore after yesterday's bombing, I suppose. Ha ha ha. Nothing new. Okay, I'm like, regardless of Karen's like heavy-handed approach to getting stories published on her website, I still feel like from all that I've read, she's trying to just help people out. So I think I'm going to focus a bit more on Ilya. Here's why I want to focus a bit more on Ilya. It's because he is playing a part in Raban's plan here. Karen is just, I don't know, it feel like, you know, they're distanced because Raban it has this agenda that he's pushing as hard as possible. She's not really down with it. Ilya is going out of his way to help Raban's agenda, which I understand because they're brothers. They've been through so much together. And Ilya, like, looks up to him, you can tell. But he is willingly helping. So I'm going to report I'm going to report that he's been missing work and see what that digs up. Because it is, regardless of, like, it is true, right? He has been missing work, so maybe we can find some other information. God, oh, I'm just so afraid of where this could go. Let's do it. I'm doing it! Only lately, did something change in his life? That's it? That's it. I thought we'd at least unlock something new. Maybe it's time-based. Maybe some things are time-based in this. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to take it a step further then. Let's do this. Missing supplies at Ilya's workplace, and it's unclear whether he was there or not. It smells dirty. Not to forget, he actually got a bunch of money in his bank account. We don't quite know where it came from. If you could somehow prove Ilya was present and able to steal supplies, we could go for an arrest on him. Check his alibi. Find out what he was doing at the time the supplies disappeared. Here we go. Last night. Whoa, oh. PM. Cassart is a liar. Cassart is not who he appears to be. We know him as this handsome man, waving politely at the press every time the cameras start rolling. He likes spreading pictures of himself helping children or shooting dangerous animals. Okay, I think we read this before. Cassart does not win elections, he buys them. He controls the democratic process by purchasing media power, publishing fake stories about his opponents, and then eventually silencing them with threats or a payout. With the opponent out of the count, who cares if the vote count is fabricated? Cassart does not send ancillary troops to the areas of conflict in Pargas. He does not send food or medication. He sends soldiers and bombs. Instead of solving conflicts, he causes them. The media won't report on his actions, neither in Pargas or the nation. He owns the media, and he owns the legal system. He has to. His family has been proven to be involved. Right, okay. This looks basically like the same article, right? Playing virtual golf. Did he add? I think he might have added this to the bottom. Knowing the truth about Cassart and his endless chain of hypocrisy and lies, I have to wonder why he feels so threatened by free thinkers and independent media like TPV. Perhaps it's because we cannot be bought. He screams that we need to stick to the facts, but the truth is being called a liar by a fraud like Cassart. It's about as offensive as being called smelly by a pig sitting in his own shit. Okay. Anything else new here? A date, okay. Oh, here we go. So we had to decide on that in order to start reporting this stuff. Because we had found this, but I couldn't report anything. I have a date coming up. Okay, well this is good. Ask colleague Roland Ellison to take a shift on April 13th. Plan to go on a date. And then we can add a new profile. I wanted to do this before because he said that he played Hand of was it Hand of Blood against him and lost. So I wanted to be able to search that database. Pretty vague plans. See whether you can confirm he was really on a date instead of working. If Raban has the provocation planned for 6 p.m., we best hurry. Only 2 more hours to do something about it. Okay. Where do we go from here? Can't report that. Let me try doing this then, and we'll see what happens. Name of opponent. I can't use the name. Okay. That's really annoying. His name's right there. And we know that they played against each other and it was possibly part of this tournament. Oh yeah, I clicked on this before too. So this is, I think we saw this in the first game. It just outlines the company. What kind of jobs are available? I don't think there's anything useful here. And who runs the company? Cassandra was a big character in the first one. There's nothing else to report here, unless I'm missing something. I could report this, but I don't think it does us any good. You don't have children, I don't think that's very important. Something in the chat, maybe? Alright, what does it say? Verify Ilya of Art's alibi of having been on a date for the time of the supply's disappearance. Okay. Let's go back to his computer. Oh, is it maybe this? I want to try reporting this just to see what happens. I know it seems like a waste, but the fact that it's on Ilya's phone. No, nothing. No dates or anything. Pretty sure this is not useful. Definitely the site. This is the only thing I can think of that, like, maybe demonstrates that those two are dating each other. Not sure where to go from here. Aside from this. This is the only thing I could think. See, I'm at the point right now where I don't really have much to report that I think is relevant. And I kind of have to report this to just move things forward. Promise to organize counsel for Molly. I don't have any other information about that can corroborate this. Been on a date. Bank records. He did, there was another transaction. April 13th. Dollar Shop, Bonton South. Bonton Drugstore. I'm just thinking about what I want to do here. Let's just report. I'm gonna report the thing that I can, like. I don't really want to have to report this, but I don't see what else I can do right now. I guess it's up to us to find out whether she lived up to that promise. We're at 420. What am I missing? I can report this just to see what happens. Database course of action. Not enough to stop dead, I presume. Here we go. I've been thinking over Karen, having met this Nina at the Freedom Memorial. If the two met there, perhaps searching for that particular location will yield some information we're looking for. Oh. Another browser history. Demian Cassart's History of Fabricated Elections, an investigative documentary of government fraud. I never thought of that. That's right, she did say that she took photos, right? Do I have that? Do I have that address? Search for, on hologram. Location name. Shoot, I forgot that you could look up location name. Okay. Oh. These pictures are marked as private. Waiting for my very first session with Nina. That's her! It's totally her! Nina Maternova, who wanted to be addressed by Molly for some reason. At the Plaza Cafe. Sadly, she wouldn't let me take any pictures of her. Freedom Plaza is so beautiful in the evening sun, almost therapeutic. 4:30. I don't have anything else to report, guys. I gotta keep following this. Shit, this is... I don't really want to do this. But I don't think I have any information right now that corroborates Ilya's alibi or necessarily, you know, contradicts it. So let's keep going. Maybe the game's forcing us to make a choice. Molly. Ha, Molly, well done. Nina Maternova it is. Is it? Sorry. Now that you have her name, it should be possible for you to obtain official documents on Nina. Yes, I want to tune in now. Karen. Did you meet Ilya yesterday? What? Where did you get that idea? Because someone told me very specifically that it happened as a session. You believe a random guy telling you things about me. I told you I was talking to Dina all night. So you just confirmed it. Confirmed what? I've also been told that she is not an official patient of yours, and you're covering for her with Ilya. What the hell? Is this an interrogation? Alright, fine. Here we go. We're gonna get some truth here, maybe. You're right. Nina isn't official business. I'm counseling her, but as far as the council is concerned, it's for Ilya. Why did you lie to me? You should have told me. It's not exactly legal, that's why. Are you out of your mind? You've been taking care of that army woman all night illegally? See, this is exactly why I didn't tell you. Will not allow you to threaten the reputation of the people's voice. Oh my god. This guy is like I'm just realizing how nuts this guy is. You don't get it. To you, it's all about TPV and your reputation. Some people actually care about others, no matter what. Gotta go check on someone. Karen. Someone who actually needs me. I'm sorry. Oh, they're gonna talk. You think she's gonna talk to, Ilya? Okay, it's 4:40. We've got a bit more time. That was just that she doesn't have any kids. Admitted to misusing Ilya's sessions for Nina Machinova. Okay, well this basically confirms this one objective, right? Determine whether or not Karen Levine-Vart is legally counseling the deserted National Army veteran. And then that should be exploitable data. I'd like to get a bit more time. Like, I'd like to wait for like 5. Maybe like one more piece of information, because I want to see if Karen talks to Ilya. So maybe I can upload something random. One of these patients. I could upload this picture. I'm just trying to see if there's something useful that's also random. Just a professional there. No. Argesian refugees. Let's upload that. And how does a National Army veteran fit in here exactly? Come on, come on. All right, one more. Well, isn't this just too sweet? I doubt we can put this to any use, sadly. I've been making my mind up about this whole card-playing thing that Ilya has going. Okay, here we go. He won a tournament playing cards, so we should rule out the possibility that he received prize money from a match there. Okay. I see. So basically we had to report some stuff to move things along. Like, I'm not really missing anything. We just need to move things along in order to get more information. Only 1 more hour before the article is released. We must prevent this. We must. So what does it say? Verify Ilya Vart's alibi, having been on a date for the time of the supply's disappearance. Determine whether or not Karen Levine legal counseling. Find out whether Ilya Vart has acquired money by illegal means. I'm getting stressed. I wonder if I can now do the search on Roland Ellison. That she wants us to look into this. No. Maybe we can go back to the conversation they had. Let me just look at all this stuff again. Can't report the 10,000. Oh, Ellison colleague. Maybe that's what I need. No. Oh yeah, the other thing it says is Fan Club Major 2017. We don't know for sure that, like, when that particular major occurred. We're also missing the counter to this conflict. I said that I wanted to, by 5, go down a path. The only path I have right now is through Nina, or through Karen. Nothing else to report here. I could report some random data again and see if it gets us anywhere. Maybe they're gonna have this conversation. Maybe Karen and Ilya will talk. Maybe I'll give it at least one more report. Which one do I want to submit? There's nothing else in here, right? No. Nothing in the chat. Okay, let's just report, oops. 510. Let's do one more. God, it's getting stressful. Getting stressful. I mean, birthday, that's some information that could be useful. There we go. What do we get? I'm just scanning through to see if there's anything new. I don't see anything different here. Okay, let's go. One more. Oh, I'm pushing it. I know. We've only got time for 3 more data chunks. If you're sitting on something valuable, you should hand it to me now. Fuck. I have no choice. I'm clearly like missing something. What I'd like to be able to do is frickin' search this on any of the names. I should be able to search on this guy, like, shouldn't I? Why can't I do that? That is really pissing me off, actually. Three more data chunks. Can I use this name here? Oh my god, you can! Fuck! I'm so pissed off right now. Well, I've got 3 more data chunks. Let's see what happens. $4,500. There it is. I had his name in 2 other spots and I couldn't drag it over. I'm sorry, but that makes me really upset. Because I've been wanting to do this like since like the first episode. So that means I won't be able to. That basically proves. Let's see what happens here. 3 more. Fuck. I'm still not sure, like, if I report this, does that mean we're gonna have to report, Karen? Let's do it. Let's see what happens. That much money from a card game tournament. Perhaps I should consider playing. Anyway, now we know the money isn't for the missing supplies. That doesn't mean Ilya's off the hook yet. It's still unclear whether he was at work or not at the time of the supplies' disappearance. Keep looking into the date he mentioned. Huh? Yet another hashtag trending. Someone has been busy. Medallion from the Medallion. Sign up for Singular Pro today. On Singular and still lonely, it doesn't have to be that way. It was Karen that signed him up. Sign up for Singular Pro and get instant access to blah 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 blah. You received this email because Karen signed you up for Singular and you created an account. Unsubscribe, please write an empty mail to unsubscribe at singular.dna. I think I'm going to report the Karen thing. I feel kind of bad. I would like to... I would have found this earlier, but I wasn't able to... wasn't able to do the search, even though I had the name in like a bunch of different spots. And I think this would lead me to possibly some compromising information on Ilya. But I'm out of time. Shit. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna report this. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm angry that I'm angry that I wasn't able to do that before. I'm gonna report this. Screw it. A scheduled session. Now she signs him to Singular. I wonder whether this is a service that comes with the council. Knowing that Karen signed him up for Singular, you may find a hint to Ilya's Singular account somewhere in her files. Recalling your aptitude test, you chose to rather reveal your dating profile. You shouldn't find sniffing around here too uncomfortable then. Ooh, bring it back. Oh, and then this is the trending one. So, you're a bunch of thieves. No surprise to me at all, to be honest. What is it? People's Voice. This is clearly a campaign against Raban and Ilya to bring them down. VV are liars and thieves. I'm sure that the government is behind this. Don't listen to any of these lies. TPV are liars and thieves is clearly fake, and anyone who can't see this is just a blind government puppet. People's Voice. I'm not the biggest fan of his writing style, but I know for sure that Ilya would never steal. Take this from someone who knows what he's talking about. There's an internal investigation at Watergate against Ilya Vard, editor at TPV. Disappeared supplies. Guess we know how the TPV manages to save finance. Okay. Planting the seed. See, this would have happened way earlier. So now I basically have the choice. I can Is there the dating profile thing here? Singular? Nope. Oh, I have to look at Nina's stuff, right? The code, I'm guessing. I don't have time for this. I'm gonna have to report. I'm forced to report the evidence against Karen. I'm sorry, guys. It's not necessarily what I want to do, but my hands have been tied by what I feel like is kind of like a glitch. So where is that? It's in the conversation, right? Fuck, I feel so bad. I feel so bad about this. Let's see what happens. Jackpot. She admitted to misusing Ilya's funding for Nina Maternova. Brilliant. We can take her in for that. Now, the only thing missing is Karen's current location. Then we can make an arrest. This is the way you want us to approach this. Once you upload the whereabouts, there will be no going back, so make sure this is the way you want to go. If you conclude we have enough time left, you may want to look around for other possible approaches before committing to this one. We're out of time, though. Hey, Nina. Hey. We left things in an unhealthy state. I wanted to apologize. Uh-huh. Where are you right now? Still at work. Circle Mall at the Central Plaza. Don't come here. Gotta work. Nina, I was wrong. I can still provide you with help, but we're gonna do it your way. Don't come, seriously. She's planting a bomb, right? I'm heading over to you. It's better to speak in person. No, damn it! Calm down. I'm almost at the Circle Mall. Talk to you soon. Shit. Goddamn, Raban released a new article on the People's Voice. It's the provocation he spoke about. How the hell did that happen? Why didn't you come up with anything? What are you actually good for? No, I won't let that stand. I demand that you get me something, no matter the cost. Get on it. We can at least divert people's attention from this pile of shit. Interesting. Okay. Government's leader is nothing but a hypocrite. I guess there's no point in reading this. I've read it a few times. I bet you he was going to release this article regardless. So what does it say now? Determine Karen Levine Vart's current location. Verify Ilya Vart's alibi of having been on a date for the time of the supply's disappearance. I guess now I have time to check. I have time to check the dating site and all that stuff. Okay. I could also just report this. Let's see. Let's just take a look. Looking for women 30 to 40, athletic, gaming, golf, writing whiskey, So was there one for that? Did they make a date for that day? Oh, there we go. I've been stalking the fields looking for robot dinosaurs in that game Skyline Infinite. He mentioned, I saw that in his browsing history. Yeah, Watergate, you're right. But I'd rather not talk about it. I don't exactly enjoy working there. I've been doing a lot of things. My brother's reach seems to grow stronger and stronger each day, as do his crackpot theories about who are wronging him, who is watching him, and who conspires with whom to ruin either Pargus or his reputation. Is disloyal to his brother. Okay. We could use this. To set up a rift between them. Let's report it. Knowing this could prove valuable, although the fact alone probably won't help us. Great, just great. The article is picking up on blabber. See for yourself. We need to take some action to keep people from engaging with that article. People's voice, Raban. We stand by you in these difficult times. The people of Pargas need you more than ever, and we will support you in your fight against national liars. National government. What the heck is up with all these goddamn new cameras? Fuck surveillance. Our so-called government leader is nothing but a hypocrite. Read what I found out about him. I'm gonna keep looking. I can't believe we're doing this, dating and all. Okay. Yeah, it's sweet that he's dating someone and all that, but is it worth something to us? We had to create the profile, right? I hope you don't regret spending April 13th with me instead of your late shift. Oh. Can we go to her profile? Let's read this whole thing. I can't believe we're doing this, dating and all. What can I say? I haven't stopped thinking about what magical evening we had the other week at the hotel. I haven't either, although I must admit I'm a bit on edge. Are you sure this is a good idea? Calm down, Ilya. Everything is going to be all right. Nothing bad will come your way. I'll make sure of it. Talks about his brother. Well, perhaps a bit more distance between you and him could be helpful. You told me you'd been writing a lot of articles for him lately. You're right. Back in the day, it was all for nobility, for a cause. Now it's just a mishmash of reasons. Most of them I don't agree with. I don't think I can go on like this much longer. I don't think we believe in the same cause anymore. It's okay not to believe in the same things as him. You have your own life, Ilya. You don't always have to stay the younger brother. It always makes me feel better to talk to you. I think I gotta see you again. Want to meet again? How about Thursday? Thursday would be best. Let's report it. God damn, so he was on a date at the time in question. This means Ilya's off our hook. We can't get him in for having been on a date. I think it would be wise to turn to Karen now and investigate her further. Okay, let's submit her whereabouts. The other reason why I want to do this is because we might actually save her life. Because I think the ball's about to explode. I feel good about this. Even though she's being arrested. Good. I'll send an intervention team immediately. Fuck. Not this again. Done. The team is on their way. Now let's see whether Raban remains so cocky after his wife is arrested. Oh my god.
Karen, I didn't mean to. Raban, I don't have the time right now.
Where are you? Why is it so noisy?
I'm at the Circle Mall. Just arrived.
What for?
Going after Nina. Like I said, she needs me. She should be right here. She told me she was at the plaza.
Guess what? She probably told you a fake location so she could avoid you. Did she even ask for your help?
No, but she is a very vulnerable person. She's just too proud to admit it. Damn this woman, what is wrong with her? I cannot believe she would blatantly lie to me. We were making progress.
Maybe Nina is still working for the nation. Maybe they placed her in your care to drive a wedge between you and I.
Don't be ridiculous. She hates the government even more than you do. You two would get along famously.
She knew you would come after her. Out there, completely exposed. Think about it.
You should hear yourself talk. Not everyone is your enemy. You are so paranoid.
Karen, listen to me. Get out of there. I don't like this. It all feels very wrong.
To you, everything feels wrong. Always. There is nothing.
Back away from the trash bin. I want to see your hands above your head.
Karen?
The phone. Put the phone on the ground.
What is going on? Are you all right? Karen!
Wait, that's not the team I dispatched. Who took Karen into custody? Our team is reporting that they're still en route. Something is going on at the mall. Let me check in with command. Agent, I've got someone here who would like to have a word with both of us. He should offer us some clarity. Oh! It's Sims, or Signs. I can't remember how to pronounce his name. My apologies. I'm gonna say Sims. The advisor on the Bonton bombing case. There's been an interference between our two cases. My investigator has determined there might be an explosive device hidden at the Circle Mall. Therefore, we have called for an evacuation. It seems one of your target persons, Karen Levine-Vart, was present at the site with the device next to her. Oh my god. I don't believe in coincidence, so we have taken her into custody to investigate whether she's involved in the bombing attempt. No need to worry, Sims. This is quite marvelous. Excuse me? I don't understand. You don't need to. Thank you for your report. You're dismissed. Very well then. Good luck. This is exactly what we need right now. If this doesn't cause Raban to react, nothing will. I wonder how long he'll take to find out that... Already? The People's Voice has a new announcement. We should tune in as soon as possible. Streaming live. Oh my god. I'm not afraid of you, and I will not go away. The media manipulators are trying to attack me. This goes to the government agent who dared to attack my wife. I know what you're up to. Oh my god.
My dear followers, it might come as a surprise to you, but you aren't the only ones who are listening to me. You are not the only ones watching me. The government has been after me for a long time, snooping and prying into my personal life in a feeble attempt to discredit me. That much I was aware of, and I treaded carefully day and night. But even I could not have anticipated the methods they would resolve to. Instead of attacking me, the declared enemy, they went for my poor wife. Karen, who has always stood both loyally and supportive by my side, has been arrested on false allegations of misallocating funds from her employer. What a preposterous lie! She's being held hostage in a conflict that isn't hers. But I will not shut the People's Voice down. Neither now nor ever. I owe it to you, my supporters, to speak out loud what needs to be said. I won't allow anyone to intimidate me. No, I will not stop. I will fight back, and more furiously than ever before. I will go after them, just as they went after my wife. I will pick their precious lies apart one by one, and expose their misdeeds so they are plain to see for everyone. All of you shall be witnesses for the truth.
Despite our best efforts, we were unable to prevent Raban's provocation to President Cassart. I feel there will be consequences. However, we did manage to contain the damage and distract the public from that insulting article. You may log off for today. We'll see what tomorrow brings, but I don't think Raban will do us any favors and simply go away. Wow, that's it. I wish I had been able to do that search earlier, guys. I'm sorry. It kind of pissed me off, and I think it might have thrown off my decision-making towards the end. I'm just thinking if we had been able to go towards Ilya, we had, like, fabricated some evidence. At least this is the truth, though, right? So if he tries to dig into this, we have proof of a conversation between the two of them where she admits to it. If we had gone down the Ilya route, assuming that speech would have been just about the same, he would have found out that we were lying about Ilya. So this might have been the right decision overall, and I'm not sure. I wonder if Karen would have died also if we didn't go down her path in the bombing. But maybe it would have been prevented regardless. All right. Voice offline. So Karen's been arrested. Are you sure you want to finish your work for today? All unprocessed data chunks will expire. Let's just take a quick look before we wrap it up. I might as well report the stuff that I can, right? TB explosive device found at the Circle Mall. After a sudden evacuation and thorough search, a device which has been identified as a homemade bomb has been found by police forces at the Circle Mall. The device has been disarmed by specialists on site, although authorities refuse to comment at this time. It is suspected this might have been the bombing announced earlier by the letter found at the previous bomb site. We will continue our report as the situation develops. They cleared the area, no kidding. I don't know if I really need to report this stuff. I remember this photo from the last game too. That guy was a piece of work. Nothing really important to report here. Play Skylines. Why not? Doesn't enjoy working at Watergate. We know that. Okay, let's wrap it up. Let's log out for the day. Based on the data you submitted, we have learned the following. With the attention he had gained, Raban Vart tried to publish a provocation aimed at the Pargesian president, Kassart. Published provocation. We were not able to stop Raban Vart from releasing the provocation against President Kassart. We found a way to get Karen Levy. I could have gotten her arrested beforehand and that might have stopped it. I'm not sure. For those of you that have played through this episode, let me know what you decided and what the results were. I'm curious to find out. We found a way to get Karen Levin Vart arrested to distract from the provocation. What we learned about Ilya, he's the lead editor at The People's Voice. He intends to quit his job and leave Bonton with recently acquired money. He received a large payment in his bank account. He didn't log in at the time supplies went missing at his employer, Watergate Pharma. He had asked a colleague to take over for him at the time of the missing supplies because of a date. Payment he received appears to originate from a card game tournament. He is disloyal to his brother and is questioning his actions. That could be useful later on. He was not involved in the supplies disappearance. He had switched shifts to go on a date at time in question. About Karen, she's counseling a National Army veteran who deserted. She's a social worker at the Rehabilitation Council, specialized on Pargesian refugees. She had a session with Ilya Vart scheduled for yesterday. We determined she must have covered for her sessions for the Army veteran with Ilya's sessions. She maintains a counseling website named Open Soteria. The army veteran's name she's counseling is Nina Maternova. She admitted to having misused Ilya Vart's sessions for counseling the army veteran. She was arrested by an intervention team securing the Circle Mall in the Bonton bombing cases. And then Rabani planned to provoke President Kassart with a defamatory article. He appeared to be discouraged and unsure about his course of actions. So maybe we're picking into it, and maybe we can cause a rift between Ilya and Raban in the next day. Synthesis. March 22nd, everybody. We're going to be getting back to episode 3, and I believe that's the final episode. I can't believe how fast this is going. Pretty sure this one's only 3. I think the first one was 5, but I'm not really sure. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry I got a little bit distracted and upset with the game there. I felt like there was something that I wanted to do, and it just wasn't letting me do it. And as a result, it just pushed everything that I wanted, that I could have done back. But ultimately, I'm not too unhappy with how it all played out. Let me know what you guys think. And thank you so much for watching. This is Luckless Lovelocks signing off for now on Orwell. I'll see you on the next episode. And I love you all.